Right, so the next thing that we're going to look at, our permutation formula. The number of permutations where our objects are selected is found by the permutation formula. So our notation, this NPR, is going to be notation that we're going to see. We're also going to have an NCR notation in the next section. Again, this is going to be something where if you don't want to work through these by hand, as I am going to do, there are shortcut buttons on the calculator that we'll talk a little bit more in class, and I will also put together some sort of other PDF or video for you guys to watch as well, working you through these. So if we go back to that example of letters that we just looked at and we use our permutation formula, right? So what we want to think about is using our formula, our NPR is n factorial over n minus r factorial. N is the number of items that we have. R is the number of items that we are selecting. So if we have 5 letters, that means our n factorial is going to be 5 factorial. Right? Then in the bottom, we're going to take 5 minus 3, since we are choosing 3 letters. Right? So this is going to give us 5 factorial over 2 factorial. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and write this out, and we're going to do some canceling here. Right? So what we're going to see here is if we write out 5 factorial, for instance, switch up some other colors in here. All right, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. There is our 5 factorial. Our 2 factorial is simply 2 times 1. Right? Now, if we cancel these out, right, we cancel out our 2 and our 1. And we're just left with 5 times 4 times 3, which is exactly what we saw in our previous example. This is going to give us 60 possible arrangements. Okay, there are other ways that we could do this problem. We could do, so we'll make just a little or here, 5 factorial over 2 factorial is going to give us, if we use our calculator and find our factorial button, 120 divided by 2 factorial is just 2. That also gives us 60. Or we can use a calculator. Again, both your scientific and graphing calculators have buttons for NPR and NCR that we're going to see in the next section. And you can choose to use those if you want to. As I work through the next couple of examples, I'm just going to continue kind of working through them more by hand and showing you some different ways of doing some canceling and things along those lines.